to Jenny Behringer Simpson just because she was from Colorado. I got to see her very much admired a lot of the sprinters, which didn't make sense to me, but I looked to Jenny Behringer Simpson just because she was from Colorado. I got to see her at cross-country races, and she actually lived near where my parents were, so to see somebody that's so close to home was definitely motivation for my races, even though I wasn't running quite as fast as her.
Here's our second section of the 11 and 12-year-old boys 4x8 relay. Warrior A, Fast Track, Umoja, Oak Hill, Bay City, second Oak Hill team. Speed City, East End, Hummingbird, Track Houston, Glenarden, and Imani. This is a traffic jam, this first leg. Now here's a situation, maybe you do push yourself a little more just to get some space to run in.
Right. I think one of the worst things to do is to get boxed in, especially early on in the race. But if you go stride for stride, like the teams in third and fourth, sometimes it plays in your benefit.
Speed City and Bay Cities running 1 and 2 right now as we come down to the first 400. Okay, well, before I go and look it up on the web, you want to share some PRs?
Not quite. I think that's the difference between some athletes. I mean, I definitely enjoyed what I did. I'm not going to say that I was quite anywhere close to being an elite athlete, but it's one of those things where if you enjoy the sport, you have fun with it, and you keep going to every meet pursuing something better, then it's definitely worth the while.
So you definitely found, you talk about maybe the 800 wasn't made for you, but you enjoyed it enough that you found those events and you're able to continue competing.
I was definitely a stubborn athlete. I enjoyed running 4 laps, so 4 in indoor, 4 in outdoor seemed about right for me.
Here we come to the first handoff, 11 and 12-year-old boys, 4x800, the final, the second timed heat, 10:08.89, the time to beat.
Good form on that young man.
Bay Cities bringing it home for the first handoff.
Looks like they're ready on the handoffs.
Isaiah Garcia Castaneda, the first leg. Speed City in second. 2 good first legs. And pretty good job with the handoffs. Now again, okay, young men, go to the inside. There you go.
You seem to have a little bit better idea.
Bay City's unleashed at 2:19.28. Speed City just 3 seconds behind. Now, did you ever dabble in the neon?
You know, I was just looking at those socks.
It's big the last 2 years, everywhere, every level, especially this year.
You have to appreciate it, though. It just makes you shine on the track.
And as I always say, if you think it makes you faster, it does make you faster.
Oh, you have to have lucky socks, lucky watches, whatever you have to get you across that finish line. I think it's worth having.
So here we go, second leg. Eric Stewart for Bay Cities is your leader. Track Houston still in third. That's Joshua Brooks. Now we're at the 600 mark. We're checking that. We've had a hand up. We're already up to 1,000.
Now I have to ask, since you've seen a lot of high school athletes, when you see these 11 to 12, 13 to 14, you know, that pre-high school years, do you see, kind of foresee what these athletes will do?
I think especially, yeah, and I've noticed especially this summer doing both these youth meets, 13 and 14, it's amazing how well the training is nowadays. And, you know, puberty's kind of that dividing line, just physically how you change. But, boy, you see 13 and 14-year-olds, and you can tell. I mean, they've got that body type. And I think you can project it. I think this is the interesting age at 11 and 12 because you see these boys, you see young, small guys that are running, you know, strictly on guts and anaerobic, and then you watch this young man for Bay Cities who's fully grown, got great shoulders on him. And so this is not, it's hard to tell this age, but boy, 13, 14, you really can't project. You know, 14-year-olds, they're a year away. They're going to be freshmen.
Right.
And if you're good at this level, you're going to be running varsity as a freshman. So I think that's the age you really notice. It's like, I love this kid, looks like a multi. And of course, being from Oregon, where we are sick with great multi-event athletes.
Yes.
And, you know, I mean, I watched Ashton Eaton run in high school, and he made it look easy over in Bend, Oregon. And, you know, Breanne Tyson, and I got Dakota Keys, and a guy no one's seen yet, O'Shea Dunmore, who might be better than all of them. It's hard to think anybody's better than Ashton Eaton right now.
But that's the exciting thing about going to meets like
Oh,
this.
you love
you're,
this.
you're seeing the future of the elites.
And I'll tell you what intrigues me is when you see, and there's not a lot of it in these meets, but somebody that'll do interesting doubles because they're going to be a multi. They might pole vault, hurdle, and sprint within a meet. And you have to get your timing down going in and out of events. And that is interesting in any high school meet because, you know, all the multi competitions during the summer. So you see somebody dabbling in multi events. It's like, that's what he's up to. I mean, Dakota Keys, who's at Oregon now, he swam and placed in state because he was rehabbing.
Oh, wow.
And so he joined the Sweet Home swim team, was excellent. So he got on a relay and won a medal. And he was rehabbing for track. That's how you tell somebody's a multi.
Right. And a true athlete at that.
But yeah, the resurgence, I mean, you know, when Carl, and people forget, when Carl Lewis won his medals, you know, there hadn't been an American since Jenner.
Right.
It had been a little bit of a gap. And before that, it was, what, 1960? Obviously, I know, a little before your time. But when I was born. But it had been a long time for multis. Yes. And, of course, it was the great contrast of Daley Thompson, the big, strong Brit, and Carl Lewis, the speedster, the long jumper. I mean, that was one of the 84 Olympics was one of the best multi-competitions. And people hadn't quite latched on to how important that was. Of course, Lewis wasn't in the decathlon, but it was that whole world's greatest athlete thing. And Daley Thompson made sure everybody knew he was the world's greatest athlete.
You definitely have to have an appreciation for those multi-athletes.
Bruce Jenner, I mean, I know people think of Bruce Jenner as the reality show star now, but as an athlete, I mean, he came out of nowhere.
Oh, yes.
He was a nobody until he was somebody.
Back Houston Youth. Hummingbird with the final pass of the time on the fourth leg. Here is Bay City's Unleashed Jew, leading into the bell lap. Right behind them, Speed City. South Houston Youth in third, now on the bell lap. On the backstretch, Speed City moves into first place. Bay City's Unleashed Jew second. Speed City, Bay City's Unleashed Jew. South Houston Youth is third. Time to beat 10 minutes, 8.82 seconds. Speed City into the final turn. Bay City's Unleashed Jew Moving into second place is Track Houston Youth. Bay City's Unleashed Youth coming back. In first, Bay City. Bay City's Unleashed Youth. Track Houston Youth, 1, 2, 3. Speed City with a time of 9 minutes, 41.28 seconds. Bay City's Unleashed You, A, 9:41.90. Track Houston U, 9:42.38. Ladies and gentlemen, finishing third in the boys 11 and 12-year-old 4x800 meter relay for the 2013 Junior Olympics National Championship, Track Houston Youth. In second, Bay City's Unleashed You.
Oh, there he goes. I saw a smile. He even said something there. I know.
It's in front. All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the boys stage, your 11, 12 Division Boys 4x800 meter relay, All in 8th place with a time of 2:20.